I'm here with Craig and Iqbal, and obviously we worked on the AI playbook together in partnership with Convert. And we are just going to have a chat about how using AI and experimentation can really boost the creativity aspect of experimentation. So who wants to take the mic first?
I can go. Yeah, so in terms of boosting creativity, the first thing to keep in mind is the constraints. So basically, the constraint is that the ideas have to be related to problems. So there's an issue there in terms of from a human perspective, how do we keep the focus on solving the problem when it comes to ideation? And AI can help there because it's very good at continuity, at kind of forcing continuity on people. The next thing is kind of like the diversity of ideas, and we have seen with the workshops and stuff like that, and with some studies as well, showing that the combination of AI and humans working together really increases the diversity of ideas. So yeah, that's what I would say about that. I don't know what else you want to add.
There's where AI can help is one of the first problems is that people are not spending enough time digging into problems, right? Researching them, measuring them. There was a talk earlier on that said it shouldn't be build, measure, learn. It should be measure, build, measure, learn. And that's absolutely right, because you have to get the data. You have to rotate the problem and look at it from 360 degrees, right? What qual and quant inspection techniques give us a three-dimensional view rather than a one-dimensional view of this problem. If we spend, like Einstein, 95% of the time worrying about the problem and do we understand it? Do we have the right data? Is this true? Is it biased? Can we believe it? Is this the real problem we found, or is there another problem underneath this? This is merely a symptom or an outcome of. So not enough time spent on the problem. AI can actually help people to dig through the problems and actually flesh out this 360-degree view, right? By getting them to consider perspectives on the problem that they would normally, through their biases, not consider, right? So you've now made the elements of the problem that you are prepared to explore or put time into much wider, much deeper than they were before. Then there's the insights bit, right? We want better quality research insights, which will help the creative process because they will give us more information that specifically relates to those problems we've identified. And think of this as a pyramid. We've got a really solid problem layer that really well identified research problems, right? It's like Maslow's hierarchy. Now we build on that foundation and say, we're going to get better quality research insights through summarizing data by using AI to help with the synthesis of the data. There are many tools that can help here. Iqbal has one that he'll mention as well. Then the next bit is when you come to the opportunities space, right? Everybody starts thinking, right, I've done the problems, I've got the insights, but I know how to fix that problem. We are going to run a test that will scare people into thinking this so that they will do this thing that we want them to. But the thing is, you've jumped to solutionizing. One big common problem for product managers and designers and everybody else working on trying to improve their site is because you're so close to it, you think, oh, we've seen that people don't do this. We've got all the data. We know how to fix that. We're going to jump to a solution. AI helps here because what you can say at that point is, actually, I don't really want to think about solutions until I've asked AI to give me the widest possible field of solutions that I do not have in my brain. So I have one or two ideas that I think will fix this problem we've identified. But what I actually would like to look at is what AI thinks are the whole suite of ideas. There might be 20 or 30 ways of solving this problem that I haven't considered. And inside one of those will be something really useful. So we discovered during ideation that people are prepared to take ideas from AI that they would not take from a colleague because there's politics involved. And also people are prepared to take stupid ideas from the AI and refine them because everybody's quite comfortable either getting critical feedback from an AI or getting crazy ideas chucked into the mix. They're not a human. It's an extra space at the table. no one's that bothered about it. So immediately you take a room full of 8 people, you add AI to it as an extra chair in it, and you've doubled or quadrupled the number of ideas, good quality experimentation ideas that people are prepared to consider. And that's it in a nutshell. You build the whole thing up, but AI helps you actually create the solid foundations for more and better quality ideas.
Can I just add one? Sorry, can I just add one other thing to kind of go further on that? There is a huge amount of solution bias. So the first thing I would say is that this might be controversial. Humans are actually really bad at being creative and at ideating problems, and because they come with a lot of baggage and a lot of bias. So and part of the sort of aspect of being creative is a state of mind and kind of thinking and getting into that thought process, and just they need a little bit of a nudge to get them thinking in certain directions. And this is where AI can really help in terms of nudge them into thinking in certain ways, thinking outside the box, thinking in certain sort of directions, and also just getting them to consider other options that they hadn't considered before because of the solution bias. So yeah.
Yeah, I think nudging that creativity is really important. And we saw in the workshop yesterday, people will come up with a couple ideas in an ideation session. But then once they start getting the ideas from AI, they come up with 5, 6 ideas. So it's just adding more into the mix. And like you said, nudging people to be creative. So when people come into a meeting or a session, not everyone is in that switched on creative zone, and they have to get there. And AI is a really good way of helping them to get there.
Yeah, in workshops, we've not specifically set out to make people feel that they can't bring enough ideas. But if we sit them down and give them 15 minutes and say, look, I'm going to give you 15 minutes, get coffee, whatever you want. I want you to write down all the ideas that you have for solving this problem that you've been through and researched, right? And guaranteed the human will always give a smaller list than AI will. And if we get them to go through the AI list and say, what out of these are credible ideas that you would consider here, the list is still bigger than the ones the humans bring. So the answer to me is that, yes, Marcella's right. It's hard for humans to be creative and think in a diverse way. And we know from GenAI research, there are 3 white papers out that underline that generative AI creates a greater diversity of ideas than humans, right? And will also give you a bit more of those way out there ideas that nobody else is thinking about in the marketplace. So if you really want to be thinking about stuff that no one else is considering and also getting a bigger diversity of ideas, then you need AI input to that ideation process. Simple.